Good morning. I'm going to sit down and take a rest. I'm on the long loop this morning, and I didn't want to walk this morning in the first place. Just wanted to get on with my morning chores, but I'm always reminded of that. So it's become a mantra of mine in my old age as we press on. And for me, it comes from one of Paul's letters to the young churches about the importance of pressing on. And how do we press on when, oh my gosh, we're tired, we just had too much, we say enough is enough? How do we press on? Well, that's a good question. I thought about that a lot. How is it that we press on? How do we have that persistence to do what we knew and know deep down in our hearts what we need to do? So when I get out of bed before breakfast, I don't want to take a walk. And eating breakfast, I'm kind of full now. Maybe I'll just walk partway up the path this morning. And that's what I'll do. And then I get out there, and of course, Mocha's jumping up around. She's very excited. She has no problems about pressing on. She just loves her walks. Life to her is being able to be in our company, taking walks with us, getting her ears scratched in the morning, and retrieving. So that's her life. But our lives are a little bit more complicated, aren't they? I mean, we have more things going on. So how do we wake up and dust off and get out there and do what needs to be done? And today it's a lot different. I mean we can't do the things that we once did. For me and Sabina, we're very isolated out here. Our contacts with humans are through the internet, through FaceTime, and through Zoom with members of our parish. And I did a Zoom with a number of clergy from Minneapolis earlier this week too. And they're feeling the same thing. What is it that we do now? It's how do we get down there, and now that the protests are over, how do we move things on? How do we press on to try to find justice in a small segment of our society that is our criminal justice system? And I ask for encouragement. I do ask God for encouragement to help me, to give me some pizzazz, to help me move on. We hear a lot of people say, well, the Spirit moved me, or God's talking to me, and I really perk up when I hear that, because I think that might be important. I don't want to miss anything. But there's an important part of being receiving God's word, and that is processing it in community. I mean, all those crazy people over the years that said, well, God told me to go out here and shoot these children in school. God told me to do this. God told me to do that. So I say, whoa. I've had a couple of people tell me that. I say, well, that's interesting. Shall we call a group together of people who are wise, maybe people of faith and whom we respect, and process that with them? What does that sound like? There may not be general agreement, but it would give us some kind of clarity. And even if everybody was against it, for example, the proposal I have, as radical as it is, but I still think it needs processing, may not happen, and there's a lot of pushback, and that is the idea of stand down. Sometimes when things aren't working at all, it's time to stand down, and that means to stop things, to reflect on what's going on, to see if we're not just doing the same thing over and over again with the same unacceptable results, and then have a plan. And change is difficult to making that first step. They say, the journey of 1,000 miles is that first step. The first step is the hardest. The second step is a little less difficult. But once we get into a sort of a rhythm of change. So I think I'm going to continue. And I don't know if God's told me this or not. I won't be that bold. But I feel very, very strong that things got to change today. And they got to change big time. And the only way that's going to happen in these various systems, whatever they may be, health, education, government, police, church, or so forth. We got to stop doing the same old things that aren't working and start to craft something new, to sing a new song, and maybe it's scary, and maybe we have to just test it out experimentally. Whatever happened to experimentation, social experimentation? I mean, we do that a lot in the medical field. I mean, we don't give everybody the drug we think that's going to be the cure. We have some volunteers, and we do some testing, and we do some evaluation, and once we find our data, we open it up to other people in the field. Peer review. Take a look at this. What do you think? And of course, what's the test is that somebody else can do that and replicate the same good results, that we've got something going. So that's my talk for today about pressing on. Hope you too can press on whatever you choose to do. This is a good time to make those important changes in your life. And I would pray that you'd be able to do that, and you'd be able to get out of bed every morning, struggle with me, and just press on. All right. God bless you. Have a great day.